So my name is Philip Luswata from I'm an actor, writer, both for theatre and screen. Had opportunity to be part of some Hollywood plays, feature films. I've written for BBC. And once as an actor, you brought yourself to that point. It becomes really easy. You don't get any attachments. Challenges for me are opportunities. I always look at a challenge as an opportunity to think differently, to approach issues differently. People naturally, people are wired to consume art. So my name is Philip Luswata from I'm an actor, a writer, both for theatre and screen. Professionally, I've done this job, I think, for I've been in performance for better part of 28 years because I first went on stage professionally at the National Theatre in 1995. And this is all I've been doing since then. I also teach theatre and film at Makerere University. I'm specifically very passionate about theatre because of the vulnerability it takes the actors through. So that's I'm very passionate about that. Um, I've always had passion for acting from when I was young. So it is something that has grown with me. Can't say that I started liking it. It has been part of me the whole of my life. But I'd say in my HSC, when I was in senior five, I made a conscious decision to either be a painter or an actor. It was either one of those two things, which I felt I was good at the time. And fortunately, my performance at senior six afforded me to go and do a diploma in music, dance, and drama at Makerere University. So that's where I began. And since I had wanted to do it, it was there was no thinking. I dived into the deep end from when I arrived there in 1995. That's why I say I started professionally performing in 1995 because from my first year, I was already performing at the National Theatre and I've never looked back. So um, since then, I've done quite a number of things, both locally and internationally. My big break, I think, was when I did a goalie place of gold in South Africa. It was part of a national competition on Radio One, which I had the good fortune to emerge in the lead. And so I got the opportunity to go to South Africa and film a goalie. I think that was a big thing. Then I was also part of a very important campaign in the late 90s on the land bill, which is also something that kind of brought me out of my shell, where now everybody started looking out for this young man who seems to be quite promising. Then I've had the good fortune also to work with a popular TV series. I've done Center for, which gave me the opportunity to go to Nairobi and write and perform um, for Makutano Junction, which was also a big thing in East Africa, and later Peke Town here in Uganda, a series drama as well. Then I also had the good fortune to work with Bakaimbira and to produce, write, and direct the remake of the Achigenya television drama series, which remains one of the big hits to have come out of Uganda till now. It doesn't have much competition, I still believe. Um, yeah, beyond that, I've had opportunity to be part of some Hollywood plays, feature films. I've written for BBC, radio, drama. Yeah, most recently I was part of the cast for the episode on Uganda in Little America with Universal Television. So that was something. Yeah, I continue to be passionate about this. My first time on set, television, um, I would say, to be honest, I cannot remember any particular incidents for me when it comes to doing this, because I've always looked at it as part of my life, that every new experience I come across for me has come naturally and timely and relevantly. So I have never really thought, oh, this is my first time, oh, this is great. The only big thing I can say is, the marvel I felt when I went to see how they make the Egoli, the speed with which they are able to create an episode a day at the studios. That was an experience I've never been through, because I've been through only once. We don't have such kind of spaces here in Uganda. So being in that studio where there's so much happening, where everything's happening like clockwork, um, that was exciting. But it didn't seem that far for me. So being on set for me has always come naturally, because there is no other thing you can say to do. I've never been scared, because every character I take on, I know my responsibility as an actor is simply to lend my body to this idea of a person. And once as an actor you've brought yourself to that point, it becomes really easy. You don't get any attachments to experiences. You do your job, offer the body, let this guy live his life. At the end, at cut, sever your relationship and look for the next person to give a life. Yeah, maybe that attitude prevents me from observing particular experiences on set. Each experience for me is relevant in the time in which I experience it. Strangely, my life has not been changed at all by any of the experiences that I've gone through, apart from the differences in money that you receive. I try, as I've said, very much not to get attached to experiences. I'm an actor who must look for the next gig. You are only as good as your last product. So I'm forever looking for another character to give opportunity to live through me. So I don't get hung up on experiences. Maybe I might get a little money from this project and buy a car or build a house or do this or that. But there's no particular project that has ever gotten to my head and I feel, oh, this was an experience. I'm an actor, a doctor. I don't think doctors are fazed by their patients, because that's what they do. You expect a patient to walk in and walk out. You hope they leave. If they don't leave, it's part of the job. You don't get attached to that. So I also never get attached to experiences. I never feel favored. I never feel favored. I never feel, oh, this is a great opportunity. No, it's part of my job. And my hope is always just to execute the role and remain Philip. Remain Philip. I enjoyed it. Remain Philip. It's not that big. That's why even I don't like walking on the street and have people call me by a character they saw me perform. I don't have respect for such kind of people. But I'll have respect for anyone who call me Philip. Oh, Philip, I'll stop. I'll give you 10 minutes if you want. We'll chat, because that's who I am. I'm not the other guy. I don't go around raping people. I don't go around treating people. I don't go around serial killing people. I don't go around joking with people. That's not my life. I am a passionate actor, and that's what I'm happy to remain. Um, Being in this business is in itself a challenge. It's the biggest challenge you can ever have. Um, and like I said, still I'll keep to the thing that I don't get hung up on experiences. I don't get hung up on challenges. Challenges for me are opportunities. I always look at a challenge as an opportunity to think differently, to approach issues differently. I try never to have a quit mentality. I try, but if you look at challenges and stack them. This was a challenge, this was a challenge, this was a challenge. You might never move on because we've gone through a lot as performers. We've gone through a lot as investors in the creative sector, where you get a lot of betrayal, you get a lot of dishonesty, you get a lot of such kind of abuse. Um, you suffer through being able to to manage your own life, family and all that, because how we earn in this business, in this young industry of ours here in Uganda, is not good. So very frequently you're finding yourself squeezed in corners, in a corner. But quitting is never an option. Quitting is never an option. So I would say if anyone is listening, that choosing this industry is the biggest challenge you can expose yourself to, because it's not going to be easy. People look at the glamour and think, oh, I'm a star, I'm a superstar, everyone knows me, I walk on the street, everyone recognizes me, people want to be with me. And that could get into your head. Um, you forget that just living through that experience in itself is a huge challenge, and also supporting yourself, supporting the image you create for yourself, supporting the image that people create for you, want you to be, because people want you to be a particular person that you might never actually afford to be. So that in itself is is a huge challenge. Then also the idea of being exploited less than you should be exploited. Because as a performer, I feel there's always this opportunity for you to be in the performance space at every possible opportunity. Just like a doctor, you go to hospital every day, treat people, learn new things. But in our business, we don't always get that opportunity because the industry is not as vibrant as it should be. And then, of course, there is also the idea that you must live. So most of us tend to have those side income opportunities, which don't allow us to engage with the business as strongly and effectively and continuously as we should, to both grow ourselves, grow opportunity for others, and grow the industry itself. I think if you talk about challenges, that's what I see. I haven't achieved anything in this business. Thus, you have to always be very careful to think about achievements, because those are the things that mask you from actually achieving what you could. Every time you feel, oh, I have achieved this, you fail, you stop chasing. Personally, I have been awarded the Lifetime Achievement Awards at the Uganda Film Festival. Now, maybe I don't know whether that's, I have, I don't look at it as an achievement. I look at it as instead a challenge, because someone has put something on your table and says, now you have to prove that you deserve that. I have won most inspirational upcoming artist of the year in 2007. That was a Golden Drama Award. That's some time back. But for me, those are always small things. I do not, that's why you never find me saying, oh, award winner, oh, award this, award that. Because I know at the end of the day, I have to wake up tomorrow and pursue something fresh. Maybe the thing you might want to say that I'm pretty proud of for me so far is my work on Chigenya Genya. That was from 2003 up to I think 2004, because Chigenyagenya has gone on to remain an iconic representation of what can come out of Uganda. Even up to today, you walk on the streets, you find people selling those DVDs. You go on YouTube, people are watching, people love it, people have good comments, even today. So for me, that's something that really made me happy. But when it comes to achieving, I haven't yet achieved what I feel I would want to achieve. I feel unfulfilled as a performer, which I think is a good thing. It's good to be sad. It's good to be melancholy, because you keep chasing. Um, I think the biggest challenge we have as creatives is opportunities to exhibit what we can do or what we do, opportunities to experiment what we do, opportunities to share our artistry with others and with the world. There are very, very few opportunities. And when they exist, they are not lucrative at all. They are not beneficial. You don't financially get much out of that. So the bigger thing we need in the industry for me is opportunities for exhibition. Opportunities for exhibition. I wish people would become more confident about investing in theaters, little theaters, even if it's a 10-seater theater, so that we can have a circuit. Invest in video halls, even if it is Vivanda, so that we can move around. Television stations also need to become confident enough to invest in local sitcoms, things that Ugandans talk about every day. We do not have these opportunities. And for me, that has been my biggest frustration. So that's why even I set up my own theater in Mugongo, Chengera, just to, again, give myself an opportunity. If I can't get a theater to act at, then I have my own space where I can go and perform to myself and my friends. And, keep alive, because we are alive by being seen. Our business is part of being seen. Our business is being popular. Our business is becoming famous. And that's what people sometimes misconstrue, that, oh, I'm popular, and then you get it to your head. No, it's part of the job. But how many people have those opportunities? There are not many. So I think that's the sad bit. I wish people would invest more in opportunities for exhibition in whichever way. The biggest problem with young people today is their exposure to the ideas of fairness, justice, copyright, and all that, I'll say, crap, which has gotten to people's heads, and to a point that everyone now thinks of never being exploited. Yet I know in this business, as a beginner, you really need to offer yourself up for exploitation, because chances are that that fellow who wants to put money in you doesn't have enough money to satisfy what you might feel your need is, because he's also taking risks. Allow people above you to take risks, and let's have some kind of hierarchy. Not You're not a director. Know what your strength is, and support yourself in that place. Know, this is who I am, this is how I want to be used, and get used as much as possible. I hear people talking about money. I hear this debate of money, money, money. If you come in this business looking for money, you will never get it. You need to think of yourself as a mango fruit. The mango never thinks about how it's going to be sold for 10 million or it's going to be sold for 2,000. It's the people who want it who determine what it costs. It's the same thing with good art. If you create good art, people people are wired to consume art, whether they like it. If you're a spiritual being, when you have a spirit, the spirit is always seeking for fulfillment. And fulfillment, we get fulfillment from observing what others are doing, from observing others' conversations, from observing stories. That's where the spirit gets rejuvenated. From experiencing things outside them, a dance, a song that touches my soul, a great performance that reminds me of something that happened, um, a poem that digs into my heart. These are things that people are always seeking for by virtue of them being alive. People go into their beds and have nightmares. They see ghosts in the darkness. They switch on the TV to watch a play, to watch a drama, so that they can cool down. They switch on the radio to listen to a good song. They recall some good dialogue that gives them strength. People will always want great art. So come into this business thinking about how you can be part of the process of creating great art. But for me, the saddest bit is that we do not have young people sacrificing themselves anymore We grew up in times of sacrifice. Maybe and I don't think it's outdated, because I find that there are so many creative people who are not working because they cannot work with the new crop of talent, which is which feels, oh, we are empowered people. We must be paid. We must make money. Money does not end in great art. You find very creative, talented young people doing nothing with themselves. Why? Because, oh, I don't want to be exploited. Why? Let that thing out of you. Let it be seen at whatever cost, whether you have paid a lot of money or no money at all. Somebody is going to demand for that good thing you do. Passion is priceless. That's all.